Hi, I'm Melissa Pierce, co-founder of the Widow Squad community membership and co-host of the Widow Squad podcast. In 2011, my husband Dave tragically died in his sleep. And overnight, I found myself the sole caregiver to our two sons. They were very young at the time, they were 10 and 13. And it was like his death stole my life as I knew it. I felt like I'd never feel love or joy or purpose again. It's like the movie screen of my life, it went blank. So for a time, I numbed the pain of Dave's death by not allowing myself to really feel my feelings. And I also was not taking very good care of myself or my needs. And once I started to treat myself with some kindness and compassion while also processing the pain and loss that I felt, well, I finally felt that, and I knew that some healing would come. It wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy path to go from paralyzed to purposeful. And I wanted to help other people navigate through this unimaginable time. So in 2017, I wrote and published my book, Filled with Gold, documenting my experiences as a young widow, navigating solo parenting, navigating grief, and then eventually finding some new love in my life. I remarried in 2015. Sean is my husband in this life, and we make our home in Portland, Oregon. And today, my kids are all grown up and they're living their self sufficient young adult lives. So, like I said, in 2011, so Dave died very suddenly and without warning in his sleep when he was 46 years old. And our sons, they were 13 and 10 at the time. We had adopted them from foster care 6 years prior. Our kids had already experienced so much trauma before they came into our lives. I just couldn't wrap my head around them losing two dads at their very young age. So for several months, I didn't believe Dave had actually died, and I had to remind myself that yes, he really is dead, that I had performed CPR on his body and I saw his body at the funeral home. But I had to convince myself that he was not coming back from, I don't know, like a fishing trip or something that he was on. My brain was playing some tricks on me. So I had to convince myself that I was truly alone now and that he was not coming back. So for those first few months, I didn't really cry that much, and I thought that that was really weird. Like I didn't love him enough to fall apart and cry all the time. I literally like had no feelings about anything. I moved through life like a zombie, and that really scared me. I think we were all in shock that first year, and in my mind, it was important that I didn't fall apart, or at least show my kids or the people around me that I was falling apart. Dave and I had gone through so much to adopt our kids and be a family, and it was all on me now to keep things together. I knew I needed to make sure that they felt safe. A month after Dave died, I remember my oldest son saying to me that he had to be the man of the house. And it was very sweet of him to think that, but I let him know that, not to worry about anything, that I had everything covered. And his job was just to be a kid. So, this is what life looked like before prioritizing my needs. I was solo parenting. And solo parenting after the death of a spouse is no joke. We were all hurting and grieving in our own ways, but the boys still had to go to school, and I went back to work after a 5-week leave of absence. The boys played sports and they had homework, and bills had to be paid, carpools, meals had to be prepared, groceries bought, all the things. I mean, there was no one to share the load with anymore. Dave was gone and I was doing it all. And I was exhausted. I was caring for everybody except for me. So around, I think it was like the 6-month mark, the realization hit that I was truly alone. And this was my life now. I was in a tremendous amount of pain, and I started soothing myself with wine in the evenings after I put the boys to bed. And at that time, I felt like I would never feel love or joy or purpose again. And I was really sinking into this deep, dark hole. I didn't know how to prioritize myself until I hit a really, really low point. So I reached out for help, and that's not easy for me to do. I don't like feeling vulnerable and asking for help, but I had to let go of all that because I knew that all the unhealthy things I was doing to cope, like the over drinking I was doing in the evenings, well, it was only temporarily making me feel better. And it was helping me sleep or pass out in the evenings. So I knew in my gut that I had to start taking better care of myself so that I could take care of my kids. It's like when you're flying on the plane, and we've all heard it. They tell you to put the oxygen mask on yourself before assisting your kid with theirs. And so I knew I couldn't help my kids process their grief if I wasn't dealing with my own. And I noticed that a specific theme was coming up around how a lot of my emotional pain it showed up in my body. There were times when I felt like I was just going to burst out of my skin, and I knew I needed to shake loose that pain. So the grief that was literally stuck in my body, it was sorry, it was the grief that was literally stuck in my body, and I needed to loosen it up and release it so that I could have some clarity and space to deal with the trauma of Dave's death. So I decided to be open to anything that might make me feel something, and hopefully something good. I started with my body, and I got regular massages and pedicures. It was just nice to have another human touch me. I took a lot of baths because I liked the feel of warm water on my skin. So I just got over myself. I got over myself that this was an indulgence. It wasn't. It was absolutely necessary to my survival and to the survival of my family. It was like I was giving myself permission to take care of myself, like kind of writing myself a prescription for self care, if you will. The more I moved my body, the better I felt. I regularly walked miles around my neighborhood. I was pretty much open to anything because I wanted to feel better, to feel good, even if it was just for 5 minutes. I even took up tap dancing. So, self care was a game changer for me as I began the work of processing my deep grief and practicing tons of self care to move forward towards hope. So, the impact of Dave's death on our boys really showed up as they got older. It was a rough time in our lives, and I sought professional help for all of us. And we made it through. And if I hadn't bolstered myself through my self care practices during that really, really difficult and challenging time, I'm not sure if we would have fared as well as we did if I wasn't making myself a priority and taking good care of me as I was taking care of my kids. And I don't want to minimize what you're going through. I mean, this is really, really hard, and I understand that. But I want you to know that you are so worthy of being taken care of. And you can do that for yourself. You can have your own back. And I just love this quote. So, my hope for you is when you discover something that nourishes your soul and brings joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. So, self care is basically making time to take care of yourself, to nourish your mental, your physical, and emotional well being. So, it's a way to support yourself as you move through grief and to create a deeper relationship with yourself. So, when you ask yourself questions like, well, what would make me feel good at this moment? And listen for the answer. You can't help but get to know yourself in a deeper way. I mean, you start developing a deep trust of yourself and your inner wisdom. It's a way to create an environment of kindness and compassion towards yourself. I mean, sometimes the way we speak to ourselves is not necessarily kind. We can be very hard on ourselves. I mean, I know I can. So, fostering a little more kindness and compassion for yourself physically and emotionally can ease a lot of suffering and pain that we put ourselves through. Self care is something you can access at any time, and it's unique to you and what resonates with you. Your self care may be different than somebody else's self care. So, again, it's unique to you. So, what self care isn't? Self care is not selfish. Taking care of your own well being empowers you to be a better friend. It empowers you to be a better family member and just an all around better human. It doesn't have to cost any money. I mean, all the tips here are free and they don't take a lot of time. It's not one size fits all. What works for you or what works for someone else may not work for you, and it looks different each day. Um, think of like journaling or meditation or taking a bath. Maybe that's your jam, maybe not. Maybe that's somebody else's. You kind of have to create it for yourself. So again, it's not one size fits all. And self-care is not a cure. I mean, think of it more as like concentrating on getting to know yourself better rather than a fix or a solution. Just try your best and decide that this self care thing is worthy of your time and energy and that you're worthy of being taken care of. So, I'm going to run through a few really simple, um, everything in here is free, but a few simple tips here and using the ABCs so it's a little bit easier to kind of remember. So, affirmations are basically simple statements that reinforce positive beliefs and attitudes, and they help counteract some of that negative self talk and can help you focus on your strengths. So, affirmations can help you feel empowered and capable of handling life's challenges, but they should be believable to you and the thoughts that you feel. Like something that you think you need to be reminded of. Some examples of affirmations that might be helpful for you might be something like, I'm moving through hard things right now and I'm doing the best I can. I'm proud of myself. I can trust myself. I'm learning and growing. Another one is, I deserve happiness and joy in my life. So by repeating these affirmations, you can start to see, life in a more positive light and let go of some negative thoughts and emotions. And my favorite place to do affirmations or place affirmations are putting them on sticky notes and like either putting them on my bathroom mirror or the refrigerator or my computer monitor, places that I know that I will see them daily. So a little helpful hint there. So asking for help, that's a big one. It's easy for us to take on too much and get overwhelmed. I know I do that. So when you're struggling, you can't do everything alone. We've all had people in our lives say, well, let me know if you need anything. And believe me, I know it can be tough to show vulnerability and communicate your needs, but it's crucial to be specific about what we require from other people. General requests may not get us the support we truly need. It's important to express what kind of help we are looking for. So maybe it's something like specific tasks like grocery shopping, or you need some help with lawn care, or you just need some emotional support or a hug, like having someone to talk to or spend some time with. So just be clear and specific about your needs, because that increases the likelihood of receiving the right kind of help and support from your loved ones. And remember, being vulnerable and asking for help is not a weakness. It's really a strength. So go ahead and ask your people for some help and just see what happens. If someone asked you for help, I know you'd probably help them, right? Awareness. So zone in yourself like you would you would a baby or a toddler. We talk about this a lot in our Widow Squad membership, treating ourselves like toddlers, like 3-year-olds. So pay attention to your likes and your needs, as well as what you don't like, So, you know, where are you when this is happening? What are you doing when this is happening? Do you feel better or worse? Ask yourself, what do I need right now in this very moment? Then wait a moment and see what comes up. So ask yourself, do I need a nap? Do I need to eat? Do I need to cry? Do I need to drink some water? Do I need to go outside and take a walk? Do I need to call a friend? Like, if it makes you feel good, do more of that. If it makes you feel not so good, do less of it, or set up some boundaries and cut it out of your life completely. So this was a big one for me. It may not be for you, but this was essential for me. Um, and I think especially for widows, self-care is an essential practice, because it's such a tough and difficult emotional time. So one simple way, and again, this is my personal favorite, especially kind of during this time of year when it's, it's still a little bit cool, um, is to take baths. I mean, baths are not only a relaxing and soothing experience, but they can also have physical and mental health benefits. Soaking in warm water can ease muscle tension, reduce inflammation, and even help you get some sleep. Taking a bath can also help reduce anxiety and stress, and it promotes a sense of calm and relaxation. So create a sanctuary of warmth and focus on your own needs. You can add your favorite bath oil, bath salts, essential oils. You can light candles or play some calming music, or sometimes I even listen to a podcast. So it's essential right now to prioritize your well-being, and taking a bath can be a real simple and effective way to do this. So the next time you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, like, draw yourself a warm bath and take some time to unwind and care for yourself. I mean, make a ritual of it by thinking of washing away the day and other people's energy, like down the drain. So bragging, you're moving through so much right now, and it's really important to share what you're proud of. And if you can't think of anything right now, I mean, I'm going to brag about you. Um, it's a big deal that you're here. You're showing up for yourself. You're watching this, and I'm very proud of you. So you should brag about yourself and say, "Hey, I showed up here. I'm doing something really good for myself." So bragging about your accomplishments can be really powerful, in boosting your confidence, even though it might feel a little uncomfortable. So the truth is, you're moving through an incredibly hard time, and it's crucial to recognize and celebrate your successes. One of the secondary losses of losing your life partner is that loss of confidence. I know bragging about your accomplishments can feel vulnerable, but it's an essential step in rebuilding that confidence by acknowledging what you've achieved, and it reminds you of your strengths and your abilities. It's okay to be proud of yourself for what you're moving through right now, and it's more than okay to share it with others. Whether it's a big achievement or a small victory, it's all worth celebrating. You are incredible and capable, and you are moving through really hard things. It's time to own that and share it with the world. And like I said, I'm very proud of you for showing up here today. So, breathing, or the breath. Do you ever notice yourself taking those shallow, short breaths? So there's a 4x4 breathing method. It's also known as square breathing, and it's a simple, but it's a really powerful relaxation technique that can help reduce stress and anxiety. And we can run through this, do a real short version of this. So because you'd normally take some time to do this, to do 4 rounds, but we're just going to do 1 round. So find a comfortable seated position, and you're going to inhale slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale slowly and fully through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4. And you would do that for 4 rounds. Because the really cool thing about this is your breath is always available to you. This breathing method can be practiced anytime, anywhere, and it's really helpful when you're feeling your stress level go up and up and up, and when you need a quick moment of relaxation. So try it out for yourself and just notice what you feel. Okay, so this might surprise you. There's benefits to crying. I mean, often we might feel or view tears as a sign of weakness, but in reality, crying has some really big health benefits that can support your emotional healing. First, crying releases endorphins, and endorphins are natural chemicals produced by the nervous system to cope with pain and stress. They're often referred to as the feel-good hormones because they act as both a painkiller and a happiness booster. So when you cry, you're essentially giving your body a natural mood booster or a kind of a mini workout for your emotions. And second, crying acts as a self-soothing mechanism. It's a way for our bodies to regulate emotions and calm ourselves down. So through tears, we're able to ease the intensity of the emotional pain we're experiencing. It's like giving yourself a warm, comforting hug inside out. So next time you feel the tears coming, remember it's not just a natural response to sadness or frustration, but a powerful tool your body uses to help you cope, to be calm, and to carry on. All right, making choices, it feels empowering when you're in kind of an out of control situation. At the end of the day, you are the one who gets to decide what you believe. You have the power to choose what information you take in and what you reject. You also have the power to decide who you spend your time with. And it's okay to set up some boundaries and distance yourself from folks you don't want to spend time with. By being intentional with your beliefs and the people you surround yourself with, you can create a more positive and fulfilling life for yourself. So, let's take some ownership of your beliefs and the information you consume. Stop watching the news if you can, and choose to spend time with people who uplift and inspire you. Be curious. So, grief counseling helped me to understand my nature, how I behave, my emotions, my thoughts, my reactions. So, I was really curious about like personality tests, like Myers-Briggs and the Enneagram, to help me figure out how I navigate in the world and my strengths and my challenges. Some of my strengths are I have compassion for others, being highly tuned into the needs of others, and just being helpful. Some of my challenges of my personality type are ignoring self care practices. I avoid my own emotional needs. Sometimes I have poor boundaries with people. I do a lot of people pleasing. So, in being curious about myself, I realized I was on a path to burnout and resentment because I wasn't balancing my own needs with the people around me. So, being curious helps you get a better understanding of yourself, your motivations, and why you do the things that you do. Plus, it encourages you to be more aware of your thoughts and feelings, which could help you find more meaning and joy in life. So, we've just begun to explore how self care can help us navigate the loneliness that accompanies grief. I mean, I hope you found this presentation helpful and supportive as you embark on your self care journey during this really challenging time. And before we wrap up, I want to share something special with you. On Monday, June 3rd, we'll be diving deeper into our Triumph Over Tragedy program. It's designed specifically for resilient individuals like you. You've endured profound loss and faced immense grief. Yet here you are, persevering, and you're standing strong. That's something to be really proud of. So if you're tired of feeling overwhelmed by worry and the relentless negative thoughts, it's time to change. It's a shift towards something brighter. The Triumph Over Tragedy is about transforming your toughest days into a future where peace and happiness aren't just possible, they're a priority. This program aims to help you let go of destructive thoughts, regain your sense of control, and lighten the emotional load you've been carrying. It's about creating a calm, joyful life post-loss. We'll be sharing a little bit more information about this life-affirming program on Monday, June 3rd, so stay tuned. And most of all, take care of yourself.